Hi, and welcome to Mystery Island Day 2. So we're going to start off with a very simple shell necklace, and she's going to assemble the primary one. We're going to go through the pre-primary very quickly. It is very easy to do. So the pre-primary, you just use some of the thin cording. You do about 2.5 feet for each child. The shell on there is actually a pre-drilled actual shell, and from there then you have 5 pony beads, different colors, and then you have 5 of just different color straws that you simply cut down to about, I think it's about a 1-inch diameter measuring on it. And it's pretty simple, so we do recommend that you pre-tie the shells for the pre-primaries just because it does take a little bit of time with the knotting, and then from there they simply assemble it. So it's 5 beads, 5 straws, you knot it at the end, they're good to go. So the next one we're going to do is the juniors and primaries. Theirs takes a little bit longer, so again, we do recommend for the shell that you have the pre-drilled ones or that you pre-tie them ahead of time. She's going to actually kind of keep working on it so you can kind of see how it kind of comes to light and comes to form. The couple tips that we have on the shells is, again, it can be sometimes hard to get the right type of shell or to get enough of the pre-drilled ones. So what you can do, there's other options out there that you can actually use Model Magic and like a fondant mold. And you can just kind of press it down in there and pull it out and it looks just like a shell. They can even color it if you like. And then you can also use like a popsicle stick or something to put a hole through it so that way you have it for the necklace string part and knot that down. The other options we have is like a cookie cutter. You can use that as just the shape for it as well. And again, Model Magic works great for it. If you're looking for the shells themselves, we did find a decent amount of them on Amazon. I believe Oriental Training might have them as well, and sometimes the craft stores have them, but sometimes they're not pre-drilled. So that's kind of like a quick tip to just make sure it makes it a lot easier that way. So as she's going along, the primary ones, they actually have 11 of each beads. We use white perler beads. Some of the boys like the black perler beads. From there, she has one on there. You can also, we found that they're called oat beads, and they're just different colors. They're like a pony bead, but they're more oval. And they just looked really closer to like a shell for us. So it's totally up to you, different options there. You can use the smaller natural pony beads. You can actually even just use the smaller multicolored pony beads. However you like. Just very festive and colorful. So the tie-in with these, the kids really enjoyed, and since they had time to actually absorb it, what they're making and focusing on the shell necklace is just about the seashell itself, and it's like how the clam shells are, you know, they wear their skeletons on the outside and their innards on the inside, and it's just interesting to hear that and understand that even though, you know, God's designed our skeletons on the inside, he makes everything special in each way. And God knows that every one of those 1,000 seashells were born, and when they died and everything in between, God knows everything about everyone at the same time. He just knows everything about us, insides or outs. He knows when we're born, what we go through, and it's a great tie-in, and it's something that they can remember all the time with a seashell necklace on them. So it just helps just kind of make them know that if they're in a dark spot in their life or anything, they just can understand that God's just amazing and he's there for you every time of the day. He knows when you're awake, he knows when you're asleep, and he's always with you during any kind of time of need. So that's everything there. She's pretty close on the shell necklace. She's very focused. So once you're all done with it, simply just help the kids just tie it, double knot on the back. We do recommend that you kind of put it around their neck to make sure that there's enough room, so that way you don't tie it too short and then they can't get it over their heads. Otherwise, it's really straightforward, very easy. And the extra craft that we have was a real fun guy here. This is our little sponge guy. He's called the Splash Octopus. And basically, you know, it's just something fun with just, it's like a t-shirt cloth. You can use like a small little white zip tie to hold it in place. You use like little silly googly eyes. Again, you can find those at any hobby store, art craft store. It's kind of just zip through on there and just tie it all around like a little mesh sponge you can get at the dollar store. And that's pretty much your little guy there. The tie-in with this guy, again, is just to remember that, you know, God knows where you are no matter where you're at. And even for the octopus at the bottom of the ocean, you know, he can find you. He knows where you are. And even he can't, you know, run away from him. So that's him. That's everything there. Hope you have fun with day 2 craft. And God is almighty.